Oh, baby, baby, I did it again. I played with your heart, got lost in the game.
You know, it is too bad that Josh is not here today to enjoy that song, and I know he loves it so much. Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell.
And I'm Robin Hartle with Remax Results.
And I'm going to go mas despacio here. So Stephanie said, slow down when you're giving your phone number. So here's the number to call us, 651-400-0773. 651-400-0773. You can go to tcrealestatehour.com, tcrealestatehour.com. Click on the free evaluation there or call us. We're happy to help. And the last segment was on what not to do when selling your home so you can actually sell your home. This other things we want to talk about and warn you about and make sure that you're aware of if you're buying a new home. So, Stephanie, you're talking about new home construction. Mm-hmm. 5 new home mistakes to absolutely avoid is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And the one is don't sell too soon. And you're kind of like, what does that mean? Don't sell too soon. That means if you're buying a new home, don't sell too soon. Don't move in and sell next year, if at all possible. You want to plan on a 5-year at least time frame in that home. Number 2, don't forego the inspection, even though it's brand new. You still want to have an inspection.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. Number 3, don't go too big. You know, where you have too big of a home, you overbuilt and maybe you've overextended yourself or what have you. And that's a conversation with whoever you're building with, if it's yourself or a loved one. Number 4, don't overspend on landscaping. And number 5, don't forget about the warranty. So those are some good tips from a standpoint of going in on the real estate side to buy. Plan on being there for 3 to 5 years just to make sure you gain equity back or you can get out to sell it, because typically when you buy a new home, you're buying at market price, which is, there's no repairs needed. It's brand new.
Right.
So there's some issue if you try to sell right away within the first year. I've seen that happen where, unfortunately, people get relocated and they're just not going to get their money back, especially when they have selling expenses involved in that.
Right. How about, Ben, we're talking about new construction and buying and building. How about on the insurance side? Are there things that people make mistakes about?
I guess sometimes, not really a mistake, but what you see a lot of times in new construction is the reconstruction cost comes back lower than what the market value is on it. Just because market value tends to be higher than reconstruction costs because you're taking in the land and everything. But it is a lot easier from an insurance standpoint to get to that accurate amount, because if it's somebody that's building their own house, you can pinpoint exactly to how much they put onto it, and we can tailor the policy to make sure we have enough coverage on the policy for it.
Awesome. How about on the loan end of things with new construction? Anything to look out for?
I think, just really probably the biggest thing we see is people are getting excited. They're building their home, and they're pre-approved for X amount of dollars, but then they want to upgrade the granite countertops, and then they want to upgrade the flooring and the lighting. So I would just, really making sure you're within your budget and staying connected with your loan officer. And then also, I know we talked about a couple weeks ago our Builder's Best program. When exactly do you want to lock in? We've got a program where you can lock in your interest rate for up to 2 years. So, just number one, knowing what your budget is.
And trying to stick to it as much as possible.
Right, and that's, like I said,
hard
some of the
to do.
things we have
It's hard to
talking
do,
about.
folks.
Yeah, prepare. Well, of course, you get excited.
Yeah.
I bought a new construction townhome, and let me tell you, it was fun picking out everything new, the cabinets
stuff.
and the refrigerator and the lighting and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And, it's not necessarily tangible because they're just like, okay, just writing down a number, just throw it all in.
Right.
And,
Yep.
Right. It's not, you're not writing the check. Right then and there, so it's a lot different. I worked with a new home builder for a while, and I've been in the housing industry for 20 years. If I could just put a shock collar on these people, so every time they'd put in a change order or they increased, they upgraded something, if they could just, that little buzz, every time
feel the pain.
Feel the pain, because if you're not writing a check, you're not feeling the pain until much later.
Well, and I think it goes to, you talk about the value of your home, and maybe that's where some people, new construction, same thing for me. I put all this money into my townhome, and it's still not worth what I originally paid for. So, how is those, not truly shag, but, how's that shag carpeting working for me now?
There you go.
6-panel maple cabinets and the high, super special sparkly tile floor. How much, did I get back on return on my investment? So number one, planning to stay there. I mean, I've been there for a while, and that was my point, was to stay there for a while. But yeah, again, those investments making in your house, if that's what you like, that's fine.
Yep.
And if you plan to stay there, but because somebody else doesn't like it or see the value, or the market doesn't dictate the value, of the super sparkly tile floor, then
Yeah,
just,
it's going to hit you.
So those are the 5 tips. Don't sell too soon when you get it. Don't forego the inspection. Don't go too big, and don't overspend on landscaping. Lastly, don't forget the warranty. There's 2 more that I'd like to add to that are not on this list. One would be check the builder out and make sure that you have a legitimate builder with no issues, because that can be one of the biggest mistakes, is working with a shoddy contractor, an unethical contractor, someone who doesn't complete the work on time, but is a yes contractor. Oh yeah, don't worry. Oh yeah. I've been
problem,
through
Mom.
that
No
myself.
problem.
I've seen that happen to people and
Yep.
devastated their lives, and is just ruined their emotional work life and just financially drained. I mean, it's just a mess. So and that goes for remodeling your home as well. Just really check that out and make sure, and have good contracts in place that protect you, even if it means going outside and getting an attorney separate to help with those. The builders have contracts. They're not going to want to change them, but you want to have that reviewed and make sure. So if you're going with nationals and big things like that, you're probably not going to have much leeway on that. But if it's a smaller builder or a local builder, you can probably have some more power on that. That's the tip on that, is really check out on that, because there's just dozens and hundreds and probably thousands across the country of horror stories on the contractor.
And there's some
piece.
good places to go to check out these builders. The local builders association, if they're a good builder, they probably belong to the local builders association, Chamber of Commerce, Better
Yep.
Business Bureau. All of these places are good places to go check. When we had that downturn in the market, when all the builders got hit,
Yep.
a lot of these builders did not stay in business during that. They lost their shirts. And then later on, like a year later, came back, changed their name, became a different builder, and came back again as a different company.
Yep.
These are things that you can find out
ABC
about.
What do they call that? A wolf in sheep's clothing? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, sometimes it's unfortunately true. So check out to make sure you have reputable builders, and trust your gut. If your gut's telling you, hey, this doesn't feel right, or why do I feel like I'm being pressured into certain upgrades and all that, it's easy to sign the dotted line when you're financing it, but that's real money when you come to pay for it. In fact, it's more than it costs more than what you're paying for it when you're financing it. So check that out and make sure you're working with someone on an expert level on that piece. And then the last thing, so this would be number 7, or the other one is, if you're a bargain hunter, so all you bargain hunters out there that want a deal like me, hey, I want a deal. Who
doesn't?
My wife always jokes, she says, she wants me to buy something,
Yeah.
all she's got to say is, hey,
It's on
this is
sale.
a deal. Here's what it was. Here's what it is. And I'm like, great. Well,
All
that
right.
sounds good.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want a deal, and this takes some concession or some give and take or some sacrifice, buy a spec home. Buy one that's already built, not customized to you necessarily, but probably still a heck of a house. And those spec houses, and they're built on speculation, meaning they're building a home, trusting that the market will bring a buyer for that home. And the truth of the building industry is that the spec homes are there to get you in there, but the real profit, or the real money's made on the customization, because then you're doing a lot more hand-holding, you're working along the way, you can upcharge a lot of separate things, and the price seems to always go up. Rarely, I've never been through a new construction process where the initial price that was started has not been higher, right? I mean,
Right,
it's just
right.
the way it is. So spec houses, they're sitting on these, they're costing them
Yes.
money monthly
Yep.
for interest and taxes and all the cost of heating or cooling or whatever it may be, staging them or
Having
whatever they're
somebody
doing.
sit in the house,
Yes.
and yeah.
So if
absolutely.
you're a bargain hunter, go for those. Those are the tips for new construction. And Stephanie had some great tips for new construction on the mortgage side. Is make sure you're working with a really good construction mortgage person, right?
Right.
Because there's a difference in doing a construction or loan for mortgage or mortgage for construction versus
residential,
existing.
right? Yep. And actually, like I said, I just had a meeting about it the other day. We have designated people on my team who are focused on new construction. We've got focused renovation people and new construction people. So, and there's a lot of documents that need to be that go along with new construction. The occupancy certificate, the builder's certificate, all those things that your loan officer is going to need to know, as well as the title company. There's just, it's a whole different animal, and really understanding that. And again, having that conversation, making sure within your budget what you're choosing. And that's why we really like to partner with builders as well, with the builder, the real estate agent, and, so we can all be on the same playing field.
Great information, folks. So, and it's not all to be negative, it's to protect you and your loved ones. So we'll be back with more on a couple of things that you want to avoid or think about avoiding, and then some positive things to end it off. So
Prepare.
Yep. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Robin Hartle, RE/MAX Results.
We'll be back soon.
Crazy.